How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTCReaper. My goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. Over on Dixie for the daily, we are pushing forward, making a higher high. It does say we have a lower high. I do not know what's comparing that to, unless it's comparing it to way back here. But we have a higher high for this current trend. That could be a bullish continuation, as the highs and lows don't really connect. That could be a symmetrical triangle here, though, as well, as they do kind of taper inward. So I would watch that symmetrical triangle, as they are 50-50 patterns, and they can break you away. Stochastic does want to pull back, but it's trying to bounce. VWAP is trying to push forward, and momentum is remaining bullish. If that VWAP can break through and hold, momentum and money flow could continue higher, and we may see Dixie and Bitcoin push together if Bitcoin can continue bullish momentum on lower time frames. We'll have to see if that can happen and if we can hit 100k, but we did call the move that we made in our Discord, both the pull back and the bounce, so you should have been in our Discord if you wanted to capitalize on that. Over on the 1 hour, momentum is starting to round away, so Stochastic is pulling back. RSI does want to drop down. Our VWAP is breaking down. I will drop that Discord link right here for you in the comments, so there you go. VWAP is starting to push down, momentum does want to pull back, and money flow is starting to weaken. If that VWAP continues to remain bearish here, we could end up breaking away yet. So that's why confirmation is important. Don't just hope everything's going to run up just because you have one bullish indicator. Over on Bitcoin dominance for the daily, you could have that same rising symmetrical triangle, so I would watch, as I could try to break us away. Stochastic does want to push up. VWAP is bullish, but it could be making a lower high if it pulls back here. So watch that VWAP close. That could mean altcoins may make a run against Bitcoin, which wouldn't be the end of the world. Our momentum is pushing up. Money flow is bullish. And that just means that if we end up breaking away, making lower highs and lower lows from here, we could see that pull back and then that altcoin season that we've been talking about. Over on total for the daily, our momentum is starting to round away, as that VWAP does have lower lows and lower highs, so we do have a bearish trend here. Momentum is pulling back. I would watch, but despite that bearish trend, we are pushing for a higher high, bouncing off that 801 area like we said to watch for the other day. So overall, we do look pretty positive. Over on the 1 hour, we do have the same lower highs and lower lows. Momentum is pulling back. Money flow is starting to round away. So I would exercise caution if we're not able to gain a bullish momentum, but we could be trying to have a consolidation range here and then an attempt to break forward going on right now. So we may see that push to that 936 if that VWAP can break bullish and hold. If that VWAP gets a lower high followed by a lower low from this point, then we will reject and we will see a push down toward bearish favor, which could bring us down toward around that 769. There's a 66.67% chance of that happening, and that would make a lower low, which could kick off a bearish trend if we're not careful. Over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we did have that bear flag possibility, but we are breaking away from our bull flag, so we are invalidating that smaller time frame pattern with our bigger time frame pattern. Stochastic is pushing up, RSI is pushing forward, momentum is overall pulling back as that VWAP favors bearish, but that VWAP does want to break through, so watch the next couple candles very close. Money flow is remaining bullish, so if VWAP can break through, momentum could push forward and money flow would remain green, showing that we have further buying pressure than selling pressure. Remember, our flag could take us to around 107k. There is about 60% probability from this higher low that we just made that we could push to 103k, but if we make a lower high and lower lows here and continue to drop away, if we break this like 97.26, then there is a chance of seeing 92k. So I would watch that 97.26 close. If we break that and fall, then we could see that 92k. However, if we see a bounce there, getting a higher low, that's where we're going to see that 103k. VWAP is starting to pull back, momentum does want to round, and money flow is in the green, so we do look pretty positive. And as Bitcoin does mirror futures, we do see a lot of the similarities where we had that flag possibility, a breakup, and then a rejection of that rising channel. Remember, that's why you watch for confirmation. On the 1 hour over in our Discord, we did say we could pull back, watch for a retest. On the retest, we said watch for the push up, so you could have sold off, bought in, and then be at a gain. Could have done a quick swing trade. You're not going to get every day, but usually we do leave those links in our Discord. Another reason to join that link. VWAP is trying to push up, momentum wants to gain strength, hit the like and subscribe as well. Money flow is in the green, so overall we do look pretty positive here. Over on the 1 hour, so this is kind of where we mapped out. We said right around where we had this higher high to watch for a pullback, as that VWAP did have lower lows and lower highs, and overall it looked more bearish. We did see that pull back. We said to watch for a break back into our consolidation range. If we see that, then we could continue lower. We did not see that. We did call afterwards to watch for a bounce right around one of these two candles here. We did see that bounce. That VWAP is remaining bullish. We do have higher highs with higher lows. So if we can continue bullish here, momentum will push forward, money flow will remain green, and we will continue higher. That would give us that chance of that higher breakup toward that 103K. So over on graph for the daily, we will want to take a look at our open positions here. So we'll move this out of the way so you can see our open positions. So our open positions here, we do have some Bitcoin, XRP, and some Anchor. We did not get our order, or those are orders that we placed. Bitcoin to 86K, I'm saying probably not going to happen, so we can delete that. You could move it to like current price action if you wanted. You could say let's buy in right now. Let's say we don't want to miss that push forward. Maybe you're buying in right now. Not the best idea to do because you don't want to buy in after a run forward, as you do have a higher chance of pulling back. Now for our other orders, we do have Anchor and XRP. We'll have to cover if we can see those orders. Our other positions, we have our graph and algo. So jumping back to graph, we do have a possibility to start. We have a arrow here, so it's saying buy. So this arrow is saying buy. If you want to go off that signal, you could say you're going to order. It's not going to let us order. There we go. Let's say you're going to order another 200 units at this price. We'll see what happens. There may be a bounce forward. We'll have to kind of evaluate lower time frames. Again, we're playing with paper money, so I'm being a little more reckless than you would want to be with normal trading. You would want a confirmation on that buy. Don't just go on that signal. Momentum is pulling back. We have a double red dot. VWAP is breaking down, and our momentum is rounding. So if that VWAP does not break back into a bullish trend, momentum and money flow could lead us lower still. So we could still see a retest of that value area high if we're not careful. Again, total does look like there could be a pullback. Over on the 1 hour, we do have a bearish continuation with lower highs and lower lows that don't really connect too well to make a descending channel, but we could end up reversing away. We do have higher highs and higher lows in this current price history, so I would watch for that to continue. There is a 60% chance we'll make a higher high, and then we could move toward that 26 and then continue forward. We do have another value area high right around that 29 cents. So maybe that's where you want to take some profits. We could say we want to do our sell order here. So right click trade and we'll sell 200. Hell, we'll say let's sell 300. So sell 300 at that price. And then we'll say we hang on to 100 at a profit. And then we could ride that out. So stochastic is pulling away, momentum is starting to fall, VWAP is favoring bearish. Watch that VWAP, we do have lower highs and consistent lows, and we're struggling here. Money flow is pulling back. If that VWAP does not make a bounce, momentum will pull back, money flow will continue lower, and we could push to that 2087. There's only about 28% chance of that happening, but that's providing we make a bounce where we are right now. So now for Anchor, let's evaluate if our trade could happen. Remember, we did set a way low trade based on this one day, so there could be several days for that to happen yet. Stochastic does want to pull back, RSI is starting to sell off, momentum is rounding, money flow is pulling back, and VWAP does have lower highs and lower lows, so we do have a bearish trend there. I would exercise caution. Remember that bearish trend could try to break us lower if we're not careful. That is not where I want that, so right about there. Looks a little goofy, but over on momentum, we are rounding away. VWAP does want to break down. Watch those lower time frames. If they continue lower, we could see a further drop here. There is a 61% chance of pulling back toward around this 32.64, but there is also a higher chance of pushing up to around, I'd say this 35.88. Don't know why that shows a percent there. It's 35.96. Sorry, that looked like a percent symbol for me, so that's throwing me through a loop. But momentum is pretty bought out. VWAP is very indecisive. Watch that VWAP very close. We need it to break a trend soon. We do have a bit of a sideways action. This could be a symmetrical triangle, maybe a rising triangle if you really want to stretch it. But overall, I would watch price action in this range. If we cannot make a bounce and continue forward and break and hold that 34 from here, then it's likely we will see those lower targets. So we may leave that order just for giggles. Now over on XRP, we did have that low buy, so we missed out if you're waiting for that crash down. Again, this crash down is based on higher time frames, and it does show we could still push lower. Maybe you want to buy some in now, buy some in later. Right now, we did make a pretty strong pump. We have been saying there may be a push through around the $1.30, $1.26 range, so we are seeing pretty much that come to fruition. VWAP is pushing down, momentum is rounding, money flow is bullish, so I would watch very close on these lower time frames. Over on the 1 hour, our VWAP does want to hold bullish, momentum is pushing up, our money flow is pushing forward, so we do look pretty positive to continue forward. We do have higher highs and higher lows, so we may have a bullish trend here. So this may be an area where we may see a future push. It is saying around 25 cents. I would watch for that Fibonacci level as well, right around that $1.32, $1.33 range. So that's providing that VWAP pushes and holds bullish. So remember, if that VWAP rejects, then we likely would see those lower targets yet. So we will kind of leave our targets for both Anchor and XRP. Don't know why Algo's going goofy. We'll close out that window since we're not doing any trades right now. Remember, over on Algo, if we open this window, we do already have a position, and we are at a slight profit, nothing really crazy, because we bought in yesterday, right around that low. Momentum does want to round, stochastic is pushing down, VWAP is starting to break down, and money flow is bullish, but with that VWAP making a lower low, I would watch those lower time frames, because if they break into a bearish trend and hold, we could end up breaking down, but we do have a buying signal here, so there may be a further push up. So again, if you're going to base off that signal, you could do a trade. Again, watch other indicators. We'll just, since we're on paper money, we'll do a trade if it'll let us, just for giggles. So maybe do an order, limit order, buy. So we'll buy another, let's say 200 units. So since Algo is very cheap, that wouldn't cost you very much. So 200 Algo, not really the end of the world. So over on the 1 day, VWAP does have lower lows though, so I would watch for a continuation to the downside on these lower time frames. So over on the 1 hour, we are overall seeing lower highs and lower lows. This is a bit of a bearish trend in this range here, but we did end up pushing forward, trying to make higher highs with higher lows. So watch if we can continue a bounce in this range. If we can, we may make that push to around 25. Our NPP doesn't really say that's a possibility, but is betting more on a breakdown, as it's not taking into consideration that we could make a bounce here and continue up, because that VWAP is in a bullish trend, momentum is pushing forward, and if that VWAP stays in a bullish trend, money flow could go from red to green, and then we could continue forward yet. Again, that's why you watch more than one indicator. Thank you for watching tonight's video. I hope you have a great night. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, and join us in